Hey guys, Roy here from Your Golf Travel. I know that a lot of you who will follow me on social media on Twitter or Instagram probably will have seen not too long ago I was in the Algarve in Portugal. And I also know that a lot of you watching down the lens are probably seasoned Algarve specialists. But for those of you who have yet to venture to Portugal's golfing capital, I thought I'd run through some of the key points that make this place such an amazing golf holiday destination and some of the things that you should be keeping in mind for when the time comes to book your next Algarve golf holiday. So the first golf course to be laid down in the Algarve was Penina, Sir Henry Cotton's Penina. That was back in 1966, and since then upwards of 40 golf courses have been scattered all the way down the Algarve coast. That's from places like Castro Marim, which I think is the most easterly golf course out there, all the way down to Espiche, which I think is the most westerly golf course in the Algarve. And there are tons in between. Basically, there's an awful lot of choice in the Algarve. You've got the likes of Quinta del Lago, Val de Lobo, Monterey in the east. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There are so many golf courses to choose from. So needless to say, one of the biggest strong points for the Algarve is that you guys, golfers, have a hell of a lot of choice when it comes to golf courses. Anyone who watches the vlogs on the Your Golf Travel channel will know that I'm a big advocate of teeing it forward. Now, it's not always easy to prove that that's a theory that makes golf any easier or any more enjoyable for you guys. I certainly like to play golf when I'm away on holiday without the Muppets, without going off the back tees. I like to aim for about 6,200 yard total length, because that's the length of the course where I get my handicap from. It's kind of my comfort zone. It gives me a reference point as to how well or how badly I'm doing. I never worry too much when I'm on a 7,600 yard golf course and I'm not even stiffing my handicap, because in reality I shouldn't, so nothing to stress about, right? But on one of the most famous holes on the planet, 16th here on the Royal Course at Val de Lobo, I thought I'd do a little test. I'm going to play one ball from each set of tees, and that should give me, depending on the quality of the shots I hit obviously, some sort of reference as to how much of an effect teeing it forward has. From the back tees here, it's 230 to the middle of the green. Now, it's playing wind into and off the left, coming in off the ocean here. So, I'm either ripping two iron, 3-wood, probably driver, let's say, into this wind. And that on a par 3 is going to make it very testing indeed. And we'll see how much club I drop down on each tee as we move forward and how much easier this amazing hole gets. Right guys, multi-tee challenge. First up, off the back tees, 230 to the middle, into a pretty strong wind, as you can probably hear on the mic. I'm going to have to hit driver because otherwise I ain't getting there. Ah! Right, it's good here, slightly right of the green, but I think it could be pin high. So I've made my way down onto the yellow tees, the next tee forward from those back big bad boy tees, and the measuring from here is 177. That's almost a 65 yard difference between the tees. And from this set of tees, I'm now hitting irons. I'm not worrying about hitting driver or any nonsense like that on a par 3. Into this wind, I'm probably still hitting 4 irons. It's still a challenging hole. But we'll see how much of a difference hitting 4 iron versus driver that I had to hit from the back tee. Right, yellow tees, 177 yards. Playing a lot longer than that, but at least I ain't hitting driver. Right guys, here is the 8 iron I hit from 130, nice shot. The driver I had to take off the back tees just over this little hump, and the 4 iron, well, the 4 iron was fatted and never made it over the chasm. So straight away, the 8 iron's in pole position. Driver was a decent shot, but still tricky up and down, probably not going to make it. And yeah, long iron, into the wind off the middle tee, sorry. Also no pushover. Hey. Little bit of reaction from the greenkeeper there, who appreciated the fact that it was a good shot, actually nearly went in, but pitching onto this downslope from where I was, ball's never stopping, clipped it quite nicely. So I'm still closer with the 8-iron from the red tee than I am in 2 from the back, despite the fact that I hit a good driver. Just so much of a different game from those forward tees. There we have it, guys and girls. Made a 2 from the red tee. Pleased with that. Made a 4 from the back tee where I had to hit driver, and a blob from the middle tee. So not perfect theory, but I'm not going to completely fat a 4-iron every day of the week. But it just goes to show, I would rate the driver I hit from the back tee probably a better shot than the 8-iron I hit. I would rate the 4-iron as an anomaly because, you know, it was pants. And yeah, the 8-iron was just a solid 8-iron, but I'd expect to hit plenty of the middle of the green type shots when I'm hitting that sort of club. So the 2 was a bonus. The 4 was kind of, if I hit 50 balls off that back tee with this wind today with driver, 4 is going to be a decent score. Like, I'm probably not even going to average 4 if I'm honest with you. Whereas I would back myself to make 3 off that forward tee, almost 7-8 times out of 10. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, giving you a little insight into how crazy some of the back tees actually are at these resorts. I would certainly advise teeing it forward to a lot of people. I do it when I'm playing with my mates, I do it when I'm filming by myself, and I only ever really play off those back tees just to keep that context running throughout the course logs on Mark Crossfield's channel. So my advice, tee it forward, come out on holiday, don't beat yourself up, try and have a bit of fun. And maybe just pop back to those tees for picture time. I've been rushing this one a little bit because, as you can hear in the background, the greenkeepers were basically waiting for me to get finished. Sun's going down, I'm done. Val de Lobo, I love ya. So the Algarve is basically split into 3 separate sub-regions, being the East, Central and West Algarve. And there's a video coming soon which will touch on a little bit more detail as to what you can expect from each of these regions, the courses you might find in each of these regions, the things you can get up to away from the fairways, etc, etc. But it's fair to say that the Algarve is definitely not a one-size-fits-all destination. There's superb variety across the board, both on the golf course and off it. Flight time wise, from London to Faro, Faro being the main airport that you're going to fly into if you go to the Algarve for a golf holiday, you're looking at just under the 3-hour mark, kind of 2 hours 45, 2 hours 50, that kind of thing. From northerly airports in the UK, places like Manchester, you're looking at 3 hours pretty much on the dot. And even from places like Scotland, Glasgow, etc, you are looking at just over the 3-hour mark. So basically we're all hovering around that 3-hour flight time. Once you actually get to Faro, the drive times from Faro to the most easterly golf course out there is about 45 minutes. And then from there to the most westerly golf course is still under an hour, about 55 minutes. To get to the golf courses in central Algarve, places like Quinta Val de Lobo, San Lorenzo, loads of other ones, you're looking at basically like 25 minutes. So once you touch down in Faro, pick up your rental clubs if you're going to do that, get your hire car, get in your transfer, you're looking at less than half an hour to get from Faro Airport to your nearest golf course, and less than an hour to get to the most furthest away golf course as well. Right, par 4 13, and I think the technical term is wow. Yeah, shortish par 4 down the hill, not likely to have too much in for my second, but with water lurking at the back and looking like it's looking to the right of the green as well as the standard amazing bunkering, I'll take a par here any day. Oh, that's a bomb. Get out of that bunker. Get out of that bunker. I think that is perfect. Right, I hit that drive about 320. Obviously nothing to do with this massive slope here, just because I'm a beast and all that. This has to be honestly one of the most impressive par 4s I've played as well. Just had like a little 70-yard flick in. Going to be completely honest, hold my hand on my heart and say I pulled it at least 10 yards left of where I was aiming, went straight over the top of the pin. I'd also like to apologise for my hair today. I know a lot of you have issues with the bun even when it's all prim and proper. It's pretty windy today, so it's completely out of control and there's not much I can do about it, so you're just gonna have to get over it really. But as I said, straight over the top of the pin. Not a million miles away from complete death. But now, nice little birdie putt back down the hill. Come on, birdie me up. Oh my God! Honestly, if I see one more putt in Portugal dive across the edge of the front of the hole like that, literally might cry. Could have held so many this week. Ah!
It's also worth noting that the Algarve is in the same time zone as the UK, so none of that jet lag to get your holiday off to a sluggish start. So when should you visit the Algarve? Basically an impossible question to answer. High season runs from about June through September, so if you want to experience the Algarve's golf courses in absolute peak 10 out of 10 condition, and you want to experience almost guaranteed perfect weather, then that's the kind of time frame you should be looking for. But essentially, the Algarve is a year-round golf destination. There's no bad time of the year to visit. There are benefits to visiting in the low season as well, so it's all about perceived value, basically. If you want to experience it at its absolute best, that high season period is when you want to be going. But if you want to potentially have slightly quieter golf courses, maybe save a few pounds here and there on a low season offer, you can kind of go to the Algarve at any point in the year. I was there in November, so I left behind kind of, 2 or 3 degrees here in the UK, and I was working on my golfer's tan. I mean, I was wearing a light jumper in the mornings, but by the time it hit kind of 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, I was back out in t-shirts. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, what time of the year should you be going? Just any time.
Right, 3 minutes past 8 in the morning, middle of November, Algarve, 15 degrees, and the jumper is officially coming off. Right, so 13th hole, par 4, stroke index 18, which is hardly surprising. It's only measuring 280 yards on a straight line to the green, so I'm going to have a pop. If I get a good one, I could sneak it on. I can certainly get close, hopefully don't hit a sideways ball. Right, but it's okay. And that is my golf game summed up in one hole. Decent drive, brain dead second, little genius third shot, and then comfortably missed the putt.
So we split the Algarve into 3 regions. We've got the flight time sorted in terms of how long it might take you to get there. We've got some videos coming out on the Your Golf Travel channel which will touch on more detail in terms of which golf courses you guys might want to play when you're out there. So the only other consideration really is the accommodation options basically, and while there are, as you can imagine, to service upwards of 40 golf courses, there are so many accommodation options out on the Algarve. The main consideration is kind of what you're looking for in terms of, are you looking for a resort kind of thing where you can kind of roll out of bed onto the first tee, all the facilities that you might want are there, swimming pools, spas, restaurants, etc, etc. You're talking the likes of like Amendoeira, Penina, Villa Sol. There's loads of places like that where everything you might need from an Algarve golf holiday is right on site. versus staying in a town, let's say like Villamora would be the classic one in the Algarve. And while there might be a little bit more travelling to and from the golf courses if you were to stay in a hotel not on a resort, let's say, they do offer much easier access to local restaurants, nightlife, etc, etc. There are a ton of hotels, for example, in the Villamora area where you can kind of roll out your hotel room and have like a 5-minute walk down to the harbour and then, yeah, get straight on the super box. So to sum up, why go to the Algarve for your next golf holiday? Well, the obvious first thing on the list is just countless awesome golf courses. There's so much choice out there. From the likes of Castro Marim, Quinta de Cima, Quinta de Ria, Monte Rey in the east, Val de Lobo, Quinta de Lago, San Lorenzo Central, and then out towards kind of Palmares, Spiche, etc in the west. I mean, golfer's paradise, right? Secondly, you can basically make an Algarve golf holiday fit into your schedule. So because it's a year-round golf holiday destination, you don't have to worry about taking time off work when maybe you shouldn't or you can't, family commitments, all that kind of stuff. Basically pick a time of the year that's convenient to you and the Algarve is waiting and it's going to be pretty damn good. Away from the golf course, you've got the variety as well, so you've got kind of tearing it up, nightlife, Villamora, Albufeira, etc, going a bit mad when you're not at the golf course, having a few super boxes, as said earlier in the video, versus choosing a resort, hotel, region. Kind of east is really good for this, where you might want to just recharge the batteries, get away from the hustle and bustle of the nightlife crowd, and just chill out basically. And as well, if you're the kind of person who goes on a golf holiday and doesn't play golf every day, I mean, well, firstly, what's wrong with you? But secondly, the Algarve has a lot to offer away from the golf course too, in terms of local towns, world-class beaches, by the way, restaurants, kind of just does it all. Basically, there's a lot of reasons as to why IAGTO, the International Association of Golf Tour Operators, named the Algarve as Golf Destination of the Year for 2020, as in the best place in the world to go for a golf holiday. If all these points sound good to you and it's the kind of thing that you're looking for your next golf holiday, make sure you hit me up. Surely you know how to get in touch by now. Raymondo@yourgolftravel.com. Hit me up in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, let's make your next golf holiday a very special one out in the Algarve. Obrigado.